Welcome to the Muscle Trifecta. This is a client call that I do with my VIP clients. Every single person in this group is paying anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000. So you guys are gonna get to watch this for absolutely free. I'm gonna go over all the things that you need to know to put on absolutely as much muscle as possible, to burn as much fat as possible, and you guys are gonna get some inside tips on what it's like to be a VIP client. I want to kick it off with essentially the muscle trifecta, which I think is super important. So number one, the principle of just basically increasing either weight, reps, or sets, or intensity of your movement, which could also be just technique of your movement. A lot of people leave that one out. It's actually not something that you really read about almost anywhere. But if someone squats not even 90 degrees in the gym, and then they actually start doing full range of motion squats, that person's glutes and legs are gonna get way bigger. It's just the fact of the matter. They're getting more range of motion, and because of that, they're gonna wind up progressing. So just having better form on your lifts is one of the biggest factors. So a lot of you guys right now, it is a little bit demoralizing sometimes to have to go down in weight, but it's definitely the better scenario for you. Think about it. If you only did a bicep curl to you would never get a full bicep peak inside your arm. The amount of muscle fibers that you engage through different ranges of motion, you'll wind up getting more and more and more muscle fibers. If you ever done a set of 20 rep back squats, for instance, by the time you get to set 10, 11, 12, you start to feel way more posterior chain than you did on the first 10 reps because you're starting to engage more muscle fibers. And the more fatigue you get, you start to pick up even more muscle fibers. That's why bigger, higher reps are sometimes preferred in the bodybuilding community, because you wind up getting more muscle fibers engaged. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get bigger. For someone whose main goal is not only to get bigger and stronger, but to also have symmetrical muscle mass, it's gonna be ideal to engage as many muscle fibers as possible. With that being said, technique is definitely massive. And then proper nutrition comes into play. What I want to talk about with proper nutrition is we're also gonna be hitting hormonal stuff, growth and repair, and recovery. And I'm gonna get into that in a little bit more detail in a little bit here. But nutrition is not just the food. It's all of these other three factors that come into play, and we'll hit that in a little bit. And then also adequate rest. Making sure you guys are resting enough and also listening to your body. So sometimes in our training programs, we have 2 days of rest, 3 days of rest. Maybe some of you guys are on a 3-day program and you have a lot more rest going on, but then you start to feel like you want to put an extra day in. You can if you feel like that is something that you're ready for and you have the time in your day and all of that. Let's say you're someone who goes from a 3-day schedule to a 5-day schedule, and you wind up having this day where you go into the gym and you're just I literally don't think I can hit my numbers today. And even though you're supposed to train that day, you probably should take the day off, because if you go in and you do that, it's just going to take away from what you should be doing in the next day, or maybe you're going to be taking 2 days off and then working out that next day. It's just going to keep prolonging that. So a lot of times we go to the gym and we're not really sure if we're going to do very well and maybe we should take a rest day, but we don't, and we go anyway, and then we have to train the next day, and then that training session gets all fucked up too. So you wind up having 2 days of terrible training, and then even that third day, that might be your actual rest day, and now you don't want to rest because you had 2 shitty training sessions, and it winds up just being this long, drawn out, terrible week. And we all know what that's like. That's definitely not anything that we have to really elaborate on. I do that shit even to myself sometimes, but it's always better to just take the day off if you're not sure. It just always is, because you're gonna come back and be so much stronger.